Coach, LeBron James has a working relationship, if you will, with FAMU, the brand, and that's a beautiful thing. When we throw back to basketball, Michael Jordan, his impact on culture, sports, the Tar Heels, and just Americana as a whole. Can you talk about that, gentlemen? And I know it's not football, but what Michael Jordan means to human beings around the world. And many times when they look down at their feet, sometimes they see Air Jordans.
Well, per our contractual agreement, I don't know if I'm allowed to promote Michael Jordan because we're LeBron school. But no, all jokes aside, I think both of those individuals obviously are iconic, right? You talk about generations. Our generation, your generation, we grew up on Michael Jordan, watching him transcend the game of basketball. You credit Larry Bird and Magic Johnson with bringing the popularity to the NBA back in the early 80s. But when Michael Jordan stepped into the scene, it became a global sport. And so, again, just the impact that he's had on the game of basketball, on the culture, on the apparel. I mean, no one did with shoes what Michael Jordan has been able to do. Again, so again, it's just unbelievable the impact that he's had on this world. And then when you add LeBron James to that, a guy that our players on FAMU side and North Carolina side get to watch. They grew up watching, and just to see what he's done to the game, what he's meant to Black culture. Again, we're blessed to be able to say that we lived in the Michael Jordan, LeBron James era, right? I mean, there are many more seasoned guys who say they lived in the Bill Russell era. We just lost a giant in Bill Russell, a couple of weeks ago, and you had individuals who grew up watching Bill and grew up watching Wilt Chamberlain and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and all those legendary guys, but for us, when we're on our last days, we'll get to say, man, I got to watch Michael Jordan win 6 championships in 8 years. Man, I got to watch LeBron James go to 10 straight NBA finals, right? And you're talking about guys that right now are talked about as 2 of the greatest, if not the greatest players to ever play the game, So I think the fact that we have a game where the flagship LeBron James School in FAMU is going to take on the flagship Jordan School in North Carolina, I think that's a story in and of itself, And so again, it's something that we talk about, that we debate about all the time, who's the greatest, and you can't go wrong either way, because again, they both meant so much to the sport. Physically, of course, they have things that nobody else has, but even more than that, just their mental approach to the game. But what they meant off the court, I think, is really even more important than what they've done on the court. LeBron James opening the Promise School and what he's been able to do with that, And so again, it's amazing to be able to attach yourself to those brands, and the fact that LeBron James, of all the schools in the country that he could have picked, decided to partner with Florida A&M University is something that speaks waves and volumes. So just, thankful to those 2 individuals. I don't know either one personally. People think I have LeBron James on speed dial, but I don't. And so again, never had a conversation with the guy. Hope to at some point. Hope he can come to a game and show up at some point. But forever grateful to him and for what he's done to this sport, and Michael Jordan as well, because obviously he's a guy that I grew up idolizing as well.
Thank you, Coach. Have a blessed week.